Good morning from a sunny Kalk Bay. I'm taking you on a journey today from Cape Town to Kalk Bay to Symons Town and then to the Cape of Good Hope. This is a great round trip you can do in a day. It's about 45 minutes, maybe 35-minute drive from Cape Town centre in Greenpoint where I'm staying to Kalk Bay, and this is one of my favourite places. It's just a kind of hippie, kind of relaxed place to come, and you can see behind me beautiful views. Let me just turn you around. Basically it is a single street, basically nestled in by the mountains and by the sea, and it's a single street here that leads from Kalk Bay to, you carry on up in this direction to St James and then ultimately to Muizenberg, and it's just a really nice place to come and have a stroll around. You can go and sit on the beach, you can go down to the pier over there in the distance, or you can just wander and mooch in all of the shops that sell all sorts of things, from clothes to lots of restaurants to ice cream places and everything else you can imagine. And actually there is a railway station just over there on the right, and you can actually catch a train from Cape Town to Kalk Bay, so that is another way of actually coming to Kalk Bay. Lots of nice smells around here of incense burning, and also lots of streets to go and explore if you want to get away from the centre. And I imagine this is a pretty nice place to live. As I say, it's an easy drive down the N2 from Cape Town, and it's about 35-minute drive, and it's a great stop-off point on the way to Symons Town and the Cape of Good Hope. In fact, it's what I would normally do, is stop here, have breakfast, which I've just done, and then carry on my drive. After wandering around for a bit, carry on my drive down to Symons Town, which is where we're headed next. It's nice just wandering up some of the side streets from the main road, and you find just some different areas to explore, and it's a bit quieter as well. There's a few shops around. Now I'm here on a Saturday and it's pretty busy, and there's a big cycle race tomorrow, so there's a lot of cyclists about. I don't know if that's typical of a Saturday or just because of the cycle race tomorrow, but anyway, it's busy. There's a car park as you come in down the hill into Kalk Bay. There is a free car park, and I managed to grab a space there. Otherwise you can park on these side roads and on the main street as well. Parking's free. But I guess if you're going to get here at a weekend, I would aim to get here early or come in the week when it's much quieter. But it's definitely a nice place to come and wander with lovely views in all directions. And I'm back on the main street, and you can see the main street runs parallel to the sea over here. And you can see we're sort of coming to the end of Kalk Bay, which is down there, and we're walking towards more St James area. So typically what we would do is walk up here and cross over, which is what I'm going to do, and walk back on the other side in the sunshine. And actually look, it's Saturday here, and there is a little market here. So let's go and have a wander in the market. So as I said, Kalk Bay is accessible by train. You can see how the railway track follows the coastline, and the station is just up there, and as I said, you can catch a train from Cape Town to here. Can't imagine it takes too long. If you want to use the beach, you need to go over in that direction, which we'll walk to. But one of the things that's lovely about here, like so many places, is how every direction you look is beautiful, and it's nestled amongst the hills and the mountains. So it's just a really nice place to be. You get a sense of the sort of artiness of Kalk Bay. This is typical of the shops here. There's a theatre even. Looks pretty tiny, but lots of arts going on. And then on this side of the road, hugging the coastline, there's lots more shops selling everything from clothes to restaurants to there's a garden centre. And obviously nice places to go and have something to drink overlooking the sea. So that is Kalk Bay, one of our favourite places, and we would definitely recommend doing a trip here either by car or by train as part of a trip that you're going down to Symons Town and maybe even the Cape of Good Hope as well. I've just driven a few miles up the coast from Kalk Bay. It's about five miles, not even that, just following the coast, and it brings you to Symons Town. And Symons Town, well, here's a bit of information about Symons Town when it was established, and it's a naval port here, but it's also got this kind of, I guess it's famous for this sort of architecture, and another nice place just to have a wander around. Easy to park, and yeah, another street with just lots of shops on and restaurants and so on, so definitely a place to come visit, have a walk and explore. Again, might be part of your journey on the way to the Cape of Good Hope. Again, you can see a little bit more information about Symons Town here. As I say, it's a naval town. I hope you can hear me because it's pretty windy today, and obviously lots of Brits settled here, and yeah, I'm sure I can research more of the history when I publish this video, but there's lots of information here that you can pause the video on if you want to learn more about the history of Symons Town. Meanwhile, I am just going to carry on having a wander around. As I said, Symons Town is there's a big naval base here, and you can see up in the distance some ships, and there's a nice little jetty area around here where you can come for a wander, grab your fish and chips, which smells really nice. It's a bit hot and early for me to be eating that, and yeah, you can wander down the jetty and look at the naval ships or look at some of the nice boats, yachts that are here, and also of course you can find some great cafes to sit and watch the world go by. I'm going to have a wander around here. Like I say, the parking's pretty easy here. Here's some pay and display parking, and it's 12 rand an hour, so that is about 60p an hour. So even if you pay for parking, it's very cheap here. And it's Saturday, so it's fairly busy, but there's plenty of parking. I just parked on the street, which hopefully is free, otherwise I'll get back to a ticket. But yeah, here is just walking along the jetty. It's a warm day today, but it is actually cloudy. You can see the clouds in the distance, and I think tomorrow is not going to be such a great day, which is why I'm out and about today. I'm planning to do some shopping. One thing I've noticed about the weather forecast down here compared to the UK is how pretty accurate it is. So I've been keeping an eye on the weather and planning my weekend accordingly, because as I say, tomorrow is supposed to be not so nice and maybe even a bit rainy. So when it says it rains, it tends to rain very briefly or not at all. But obviously could be raining over there in the distance where you can see the clouds on the mountain, so it's probably quite hard to kind of get all the weather right. But you can go on a diving trip here, you can do your dive training here, and you can do all sorts of other boat trips as well. Here's a little monument to a diver, so let's just see what it says. It's a standby diver. I certainly don't fancy going diving today, but this is a nice view of Symons Town and all the houses that are hugging the mountain. Just exploring some of the back lanes around Symons Town that's taking me up, which is quite challenging in this heat. Obviously it's going to give me some amazing views over the coastline. You can see it's taking me all the way up there, so let's see where this takes us. Phew. Well, I think I'm about the halfway point. Getting some amazing views. What do they say about mad dogs and Englishmen out in the midday sun? It's nearly midday here. Luckily there's a breeze and you can hear I'm out of breath. A few more steps to climb. Okay, well, I've reached the top. You get a great view of Symons Town and the naval base over there. I can't imagine what it'd be like actually living in one of these houses where you have to climb up here every day, but I suppose you get used to it. Lots of lizards out enjoying the heat of the day. So what goes up must come down, so we're now headed, oops, cars up here. Well, there we go, that answers that question. Cars can drive up here. But what goes up must come down. So there we go, there's a good view of the high street where I'm parked. And we're going to start climbing down. Hopefully this does go back down to the bottom, otherwise I'm going to have to come all the way back again, but I'm assuming it does. Follow that car. So we are on the way to the Cape of Good Hope, and we just stopped at Kalk Bay because there are amazing views, as you will see. How about that for a view? So this is part of our day trip of going from Cape Town to Kalk Bay to Symons Town to Boulders Beach to see the penguins, and then to the Cape of Good Hope. So here we are at Cape Point, and you can see lighthouse up there and these stunning views, and this is where the Atlantic and the Indian Ocean meet each other. That's quite expensive to come into the park because it's a national park. It's about £18 each, but on a day like today when it's not busy, it's definitely worth it to spend a day or half a day here. It is absolutely beautiful, and you can take a little vernacular up to the very top, which is what I think we are going to do, because it's a 1.5 hour walk. Otherwise you don't want to do that on a day like today. But here we go. Just in case you're not clear, this is the most southern point of Africa. So this is the Indian Ocean side, so the sea should be a bit warmer.
Cape Point, so the Symons Town, Fishhook, Muizenberg, so it's that whole thing, Strand, Gordons Bay, down to Pringle Bay.
Yeah.
So you can see in the far distance the other side of the bay. It's called Kalk Bay.
And where's, oh, that's the Atlantic Ocean.
This Atlantic, Kalk Bay, which is the Indian Ocean this side.
Which is what we're looking at now.
Yeah, so
it's a little funicular.
Cape Good Hope on that side, Cape Point on this side.
So we come up the vernacular, walked up the steps to the lighthouse, and there's Cape Point in the distance and top of the lighthouse. This lizard.
The funicular is about to depart. For your own safety, please hold on for the duration of the trip. Please enjoy the view and the ride.